Let's see about the power of the internet. They call me Matisse. Will you appear?
Is it working?
And there he is. I did something right on social media for the first time in my career.
This is my first time too, so I had no idea what to do.
Well, you nailed it, and here you are, and I can see you, and I can see that smiling face that it's been too long. I mean, you're like the social media guy now, so this is basically like we're FaceTiming, but there's hundreds of people watching and commenting. Is that kind of your understanding of it?
Okay. I think so.
Okay, perfect.
As weird as that sounds.
Well, I wanted you to see I'm wearing my Huskies gear from Ashley Walker. So,
shout out Ashley.
Yeah, one of the best SIDs in the biz. So tell me about what your life is like. We appreciate you making time doing this, but what's going on in Philly right now?
Not much. I try to exercise as much as I can. Sometimes that involves getting out, going for a run, but that can get hard on nice days since there'll be a lot of people outside. So I have to try and bob and weave so I don't get too close to anyone. But yeah, is that some making the occasional TikTok and then reading a little bit too.
What are you reading right now?
I actually just finished a book on Zen mindfulness. So I finished that yesterday. So I'm in the market for a new book.
You got any tips for us on how to be more Zen? Because I think I need that. I got 2 little kids running around downstairs.
I mean, I don't know. Mindfulness is it's simple. It's so simple but so complicated at the same time. It's hard to really know what to make of it. But really, it's just your own, just being aware of your thoughts.
But you recommend the book?
It was a little much. It would be hard to just jump into this book. It was literally like Buddhism and Zen. It was almost a little bit too much for me, and I was but I just powered through it and finished it.
You know what I love about you is your honesty, Matisse. So I appreciate that. You mentioned a little bit what you've been up to, but I know you as an amazing artist. Obviously, you're named after one of the great artists of all time, and Henri Matisse. You have a wonderful creative side. I know you're big into photography. How have you been kind of finding your creative outlet now that you're, in shelter in place and not a lot of different opportunities?
Yeah, I think, it started off with TikToks, obviously. Just because those first week or so, I didn't know what to do with all my energy, where to channel anything. And then it was I had all these funny things in my head, and then I just decided to make those into videos. I didn't think it would become as big as it has, but it's been cool. And then a little bit of photography. I posted a picture. The last picture I posted was me on this couch in a whole bunch of different positions, and that was really fun. It was a project for me to work on.
Well, it's been fun. I did have one fan question that came through. They want to know if you have a name for your pet Roomba.
I do, actually.
What can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, I named him Walter.
Walter.
And
That's
I call him Wally.
Name.
Wally for short.
What?
Yeah.
How'd you come up with Walter?
Well, it was actually my strength coach at University of Washington. I was talking to him, and we started talking about TikToks and stuff. And he was like, dude, did you come up with a name? And I was like, I asked a whole bunch of people what to name him, but then I got overwhelmed by all the responses, so I just couldn't get through any of them. And then he's like, name it Walter. And for some reason, it sounded so right. And then I liked the idea of calling him Wally because of the little guy, the little movie, and he was collecting all the trash and turning into cubes.
Yep.
It's my little vacuum.
And that's perfect. I love that. Walter's the exact right name. I think there's a lot of time that everyone's having now to sort of sit back and think and figure out what's next. And there's a lot of student athletes, a lot of your former teammates, obviously at UW, that had their seasons cut short and didn't get a chance to, Pac-12 guys didn't get a chance to go play in the NCAA tournament or finish out even the Pac-12 tournament. As you kind of look at how everything happened, and obviously you being in the NBA and your season being cut short, what's your advice to some of those student athletes or some of the people out there who are kind of just hoping and wishing that this thing is going to get back to normal soon?
Yeah. For student athletes, I think, and just athletes in general, I think this is a great opportunity to do the things that you always kind of put off. And for me, that was mindfulness. And it's something you always hear about how good it is and how you should be doing it. And you're always yeah, that's great. I'm going to do it. And you never do it. And now I just faced with all this time on my hands, I feel like I had no excuse. So that's been something I've been trying to dive into. So that, for me, it's been mindfulness and flexibility, just because playing not a whole NBA season, but part of my first NBA season, I realized how grueling it is and the toll it takes on your body. And I wanted to use this time to with flexibility, reduce your risk of injury, it helps you prolong your career, all sorts of great things. And it's also, if you're doing yoga, another way to practice mindfulness. And it's been something that I've been able to do a lot, and I really enjoy it.
Do you have a favorite pose, or like have you perfected anything?
I've not perfected anything. I'm far from perfect in any
How about
aspect of yoga.
Shavasana? That's the one that I
can
am
do that.
best at. Yeah,
I can do that.
Shavasana is my jam.
For sure, but everything else is like a little rocky.
That's what it's all about, working and getting better. So I want to know, I mean, I know, again, I mentioned your rookie season. Obviously, we're not sure what's going to happen. Adam Silver said we won't know maybe until May, and I think it's anyone's best guess as of right now. But tell me just about the experience of what it's been like, that transition from UW and playing college ball and being kind of the star of the show there to now, you know, being big time in Philly. What's NBA life?
It's very different. I mean, I went from being, like you said, like one of the main guys at UW. Like I could kind of do no wrong. Like even if I messed up, like coach was gonna leave me in. And then I got to the Sixers, and it was like I had all that trust that I had gained at Washington. I had to just rebuild. And I mean, I'm still in the process of rebuilding it, but it's been hard. Being a rookie is not easy. It's super fun, and I've learned so much, and it's been an amazing experience. But it's a lot of work, and to just get to where I am now, I feel like this time that I've had to just reflect on this past year has been really cool to just appreciate what exactly I've done or I've been through and been able to achieve. Because like most kids, you dream as a basketball player, you dream of making it to the NBA. And like rarely do you get a chance to actually slow down and understand that, at least for me, like that I've made it. And it's been pretty cool to be able to look back on, whether it's pictures or watching film or just thinking about how crazy it is that I'm now guarding guys that I've looked up to my whole life. I'm stepping onto the courts that I've looked at thousands of times on TV, and now to have like an entire city and fan base behind me is a dream come true. You
mentioned the city and fan base, and there's a lot of people I've seen the comments pop up that want to know how you're liking Philly. And I got to say, I used to live on the East Coast for a long time. I know Philly fans can get a bad rap, but no one embraces their own like that Philly fan. So tell me what the city's like and what the fans are like.
The city's incredible. I mean, I literally never been to Philadelphia until I moved out here. So it was like, I wouldn't say culture shock, but it was like, this is all brand new. I didn't know anything, didn't know anyone. I had never heard of like a Wawa or anything like that. Like I really had to just figure things out from scratch. But no, Wawas are great. I live like 2 blocks away from one. But the fans, like you said, they ride with you. As hard as they love you, they will also hate you. But like that's what makes them so great, is because they hold you accountable. Like you can't just, like if you're not good, it's not like they're not going to show up, which is like the cases in a lot of places. If you're not good, they're going to let you know that you're not playing well. And then like you take pride in that as a player, just like to not let that happen. And when it does happen, to like snap out of it.
Matisse, I can't thank you enough for joining us today on Instagram. I got 1,000 more questions, but I want to be respectful of your time because I'm assuming you've got some amazing TikTok or
I got to work on tree pose.
Or maybe just Shavasana, whatever your day has in store. I hope it's great. But it is awesome to see that smile. We miss it in the Pac-12 and hope we get to do this again. But best of luck in whatever happens with the rest of your rookie season. We'll be watching.
Thank you so much. It was good to hear from you.
Yeah. Can I get a go Dogs? I always mess this up, but.
Oh, God. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, go Dogs.
Thanks,
Ashley will appreciate that. All right. See you guys.
See ya.